So I am now recording. So Mr. Raymond, the meeting's yours.
Is it, okay, it is 6 PM. Yeah, but we're gonna open the meeting first. Anything, yeah. It is 6 PM. This is the bi-monthly meeting of the Lunenburg Board of Health, and the meeting is now open. Mr. Vice Chairman, if you would be so kind as to read the required information that the state gives us, please.
Certainly, I will do that, Mr. Chairman. Just as a preliminary matter and as you requested, this is Perry Jewell, the Vice Chairman. I'll do a roll call to confirm that the members that we do have present and the persons who are also present, since there's a limited number of us. So beginning with you, Mr. Chairman, if you would please.
George Amon, Chairman.
Yeah, and Paul Fortin, our scribe.
Paul Thornton here.
And I am Perry Jewell, the Vice Chairman. Andrea Schnepp is our administrative assistant. Andrea? And we have our first property owner from 220 Smith, 220 Whalum Road, also present here. Nancy, what is your last name for the record?
Caron, C-A-R-O-N.
Great. And then we also have a visitor today, Mr. Dave Passios, who's, a past member of ours and always interested in many town activities. Welcome,
Yeah.
Dave.
Great.
Thank you. Hear you loud and clear.
Good. So continuing, in accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised that this meeting is being recorded and broadcast over the Lunenburg Public Access Channel, and that this meeting of the Lunenburg Board of Health is being conducted remotely. The town of Lunenburg, in response to the COVID-19 coronavirus, is currently following the guidance from the Lunenburg Board of Health, Massachusetts Department of Public Health, and the CDC regarding the virus and steps communities can take to prevent the spread. And all town facilities are currently closed to the public except by appointment. In accordance with the governor's order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, General Law, Chapter 30A, Paragraph 20, all public meetings are being conducted remotely. The order, which you can find posted on the town website on the COVID-19 Information Center page, accessed through the town manager's webpage, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely as long as reasonable public access is afforded, so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will allow public comment at the end. For this meeting, the Lunenburg Board of Health is convened by Zoom, as posted on the town website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that most attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care in screen sharing your computer. Anything that you broadcast will be captured by the recording. Okay, we're now going to be turning to the first item on the agenda, but before we do so, permit me to cover some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business to ensure accurate meeting minutes. The chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will invite others to provide comments, questions, or motions. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking, and please remember to speak clearly and in a way that helps to generate accurate minutes. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. If members wish to engage with other members, please do so through the chair, taking care to identify yourself. And finally, each vote taken at this meeting will be conducted by roll call vote. So, Mr. Chairman, the meeting is all yours.
Thank you, Perry. Our first item on the agenda this evening is for, is it Nancy? Is that your first name, Nancy?
Yes, it is.
Nancy,
Yep.
this is Nancy Karen here, with property somewhere in the Whalum Road area, which by tax title is noted as 2 Smith Drive, which is how we will refer to it through this hearing in this identification of the property. The request is to increase the number of bedrooms in the house, this particular property, without, as I understand it, changing the actual footprint of the house. You're not adding out to the foundation or anything like that, are you, Mrs. Karen?
No, and we didn't want to add another bedroom. I'm going to expand a bedroom into another room, which will keep it at 3 bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
The state has a method of determining how many rooms in a structure can be determined as a bedroom. And our agent looked at the plans for your house, this particular house, I should say, and thought that perhaps there was more bedrooms than was allowed. But looking at the plans and the way it's laid out, I don't note that. A couple of them are, as far as I'm concerned, are a little bit iffy. In other words, what happens when we do bedroom counts, it's not as what you're using it for, is what they possibly could be used for. If you ever sold that property and somebody else moved in and the rooms had certain characteristics to it that would define it as a bedroom. But not all of these, a couple of them are a little bit iffy, but I don't think it's a significant thing. I was a little bit concerned with whether or not the footprint of the building would change, which would relate to the square footage of the property itself, but that doesn't seem to be an issue at all. What I would request, I think, in this particular matter is that we put a deed restriction on it. This would prevent further expansion of the property anytime in the future. If you sold the house or somebody else decided to move in, and you'd be restricted as to what you could do with adding more rooms that could be considered to be bedrooms. So with that caveat, I would be willing to vote to allow this expansion of this house. Does anybody have any comments or questions? Mrs. Karen, do you have anything that you'd like to ask the board?
no, I'm fine with that. I'm just wondering, with the deed restriction, if we were to down the road expand the septic, or maybe the next owner wanted to do that, could this restriction be lifted at any point? Or
Yes.
it could? Okay.
Yes, if at some time in the future, someone decided to increase or put a bigger septic system in to handle more flow, and it was, they were able to do that. That's another factor that a lot of people forget about, is that you actually have to be able to put it in. And whatever they put in would have to meet all Title V regulations, all state regulations, and no variances would be allowed. It would have to be a completely concurrent with the regulations as they stood at the time that they were going to do that.
Okay.
But yes, if they could actually do that and they wanted to add on to the house for some reason, they could do that, as long as they could, again, put a septic system in that would handle the size of what after the addition would be added.
Yeah. Okay.
Mr. Chairman, this is Perry Toole.
Yes, Barry?
Yeah. First, just let the record show that our other member, Mr. Evan Waters, has joined our meeting,
Oh, good.
and that just a comment, I guess, for the property owner too, in regard to your recommendation of the deed restriction. This, I would just say that, you know, this isn't terribly uncommon, especially in a home that has more rooms in total than would
Yeah.
normally be associated with 3 bedrooms. And so it's with a building permit that you're asking for to, you know, it's not inappropriate. Similarly, the statements that our chairman made are exactly true. Just as as it would be without the deed restriction. If
Okay.
a future owner or yourself decided that they wanted to put in a 4 or 5 bedroom house, they would need to, first of all, have a design for a fully compliant system, and
Yeah.
then they would need to install that
I
so
see.
that it doesn't restrict that.
Okay,
That would be the case whether or not you had this deed restriction, that you should need a fully compliant system to increase the bedroom count.
okay. Well, we plan on being there for a long time. It's just the 3 of us, so that sounds fine with me.
Yeah, it sounds quite reasonable what you want to do.
Yeah.
I will
And
tell you,
we will,
I will tell you through personal experience that when you have a deed restriction placed, they charge you. Of course, the Commonwealth will get some money out of you. Sometime in
$75.
the future, you wanted to remove that restriction, you're gonna charge you again. I'll just tell you that. They're not
okay.
gonna let you get away with free.
And just so we're clear, we're gonna do an 8-room, 3-bedroom deed restriction on this property?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay,
So with that, Mr. Chairman, I would be willing to move, if it, you know, formally that we do approve this building permit with the deed restriction that Andrea has just, you know, just mentioned.
okay, do we have, well, one, the other gentleman second the motion?
And I still second, even if I'm planning to abstain. Since I made the presentation.
We'll have to give you guys numbers so you can take turns. Excuse me.
I would second it.
Okay, a motion's been made and seconded that we grant a waiver to the requirements here with the condition that a deed restriction is placed on the property. All in favor? This will be a voice count. George Eman, and I vote aye.
Yep, Perry Jewell, I vote aye.
Paul Thornton, I vote aye.
Evan Waters abstained just because I missed the presentation.
Okay, the motion has been made, seconded, and voted on. All in favor? So that's it.
All in favor and Evan abstained.
Yes.
Evan, you abstained, okay? I didn't hear that.
He didn't feel he heard enough of the conversation to make a decision. Is that correct, Evan?
Correct, yeah, if there's, with 3 people voting aye to be proper, not seeing the presentation, I would just abstain.
Okay. And Nancy, if you want to call me tomorrow, I can help you with the form that needs to be filled out, signed, notarized, and recorded, which should be in place before we sign off on your building permit.
okay. Do I still have to apply for a building permit or is?
Yeah,
this-
you have to apply through a regular system online. We
Yeah,
do it this way, so you don't apply and then get halfway through and find out you can't do it.
okay,
So in our experience, this has been easier where the board has already agreed that, yes, they love it, provided you do what you said you're going to do in the plans that are in my office.
yes,
We can sign off on it, and then I'll get a deed restriction, help you do a deed restriction for the
okay,
property, and then that can all be worked out together.
okay.
All right?
I will just call you tomorrow then.
Give me a call tomorrow and I can help you with that.
Okay, thank you, Andrea.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
You're
Have a
welcome.
good night.
Thank you very
You
much.
as well.
You too.
Should I sign off now?
You
Yes,
can if you want,
Okay.
or you can stay with us either way.
Okay.
Okay, we don't really have any other business. Our second item on the agenda has been postponed because the applicant has not completed the paperwork that we requested, which was the water test, the current water test on the well that he wants to do.
And the minutes went out late. I sent them to George and Perry just to check for typos, so I'll get those out to you guys to approve for our next meeting together with these minutes.
That sounds great. Thank you.
Anybody have anything that they want to talk about or speak about, or everybody going to the caucus?
Dave had his hand raised. I don't know.
Oh, Dave?
Yeah.
Are you still
Yeah.
there, Dave? I didn't see you.
Yes, I am. Yeah, George, if I could just ask a question, I had hoped to ask it before Nancy clicked off, and I think I know the answer. I just wanted to clarify. Whalum Road does have municipal sewer, and they've got frontage on Whalum Road, so it could be either a fully compliant system or tie into municipal sewer to
Yes.
expand the property.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
This
okay.
particular lot is a flagpole lot, and the distance from where their house is to the road is extensive, so I don't know.
They're
Yeah,
already
they-
doing a pump up system from the house to the septic, so I would assume they'd be able to engineer it.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that would be determined, Dave, at the time that they were getting ready to do their building. That would go through the sewer commission and probably everybody else.
Yep.
But yeah, that, as long as it's compliant that, with the sewage disposal, it wouldn't matter how.
I'm just concerned that, and I'll pass it on to Nancy when I talk with her next, that, it might be pretty tough getting a fully compliant system on that property, whereas the sewer is available right there at the street. So,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Okay,
See
Dave.
you guys a little bit later.
Yeah,
See ya.
Okay,
short and sweet, I hope.
all right, so is everybody going to caucus?
Well, I am.
Yes,
Yes.
Andrea
ma'am.
is going. Dave, you going?
He's going.
Dave's going. Well,
He
Dave,
Yeah,
said he was
he's
going.
yeah, he'll be there.
Paul's going. Paul's got to go because,
Paul's gonna go.
Yep,
Evan, you
I'm
coming to the
going.
caucus? Evan, you coming to the caucus?
I am. Yep. I'm
Oh,
bringing.
good.
I'm
Then we'll
bringing my
finally
partner
meet you.
too.
We've never
I know.
met you. How
That'd be so
exciting. It's been a year.
Well, I met him at that last caucus, but I don't know what he looks like.
No, it was right
sure.
in.
Yeah.
We didn't have a caucus.
Once a year, whether we need it or not.
Yeah, but we didn't
Okay.
have one.
We
Okay,
can
then,
make a
did you-
motion to adjourn somebody,
okay. Mr. Chairman, I would be happy to move that we adjourn.
and I would be happy to second that motion. All in favor? This is a voice vote. George Eman, aye.
Barry Jewell, aye.
Paul Fortin, aye.
Evan Waters. Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned.
Shutting off the recording at this time then. See you all
Okay.
soon.
See you in a little bit.